Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Um, I welcome you to week 3 of the Pamuja Education Teacher Training Program. Um, First of all, I'd like to clarify for the poor clarity of the webcam. I've been trying to fix it, but unfortunately, I've not been able to do that. Um, um, Nevertheless, I thought that it would be nice if I could have my face on the screen so that we could have a more personalized conversation. Now, um, this is what uh, this is what week 1 and week 2 have looked like up till now. We introduced ourselves on on Canvas, and um, um, we introduced ourselves. We also built a wiki on it. We were introduced to the Canvas learning management system and its various features. We also looked at the rubric for putting down engagement ratings of students, right? And we had quite an animated discussion on that. In week 2, we were introduced to the Big Blue Button, the conferencing software, which is so useful if you want to have a one-to-many chat or a one-to-one, a more personalized one-to-one chat. We were introduced to screencasting, which is simply what I'm doing right now, which is presenting my screen. And we also had a Jing assignment. Jing is a screencasting software, so we had a Jing assignment where we were required to introduce ourselves to the students and set down the expectations that we have of them, and of course also ask them as to what they expect from us. Now, this is what you're going to look at in week 3, which is 5 things: assessment, feedback, reporting, term grades and analytics, and class announcements. While the details of all this is there in the announcement, but I would nevertheless want to quickly take you through each one of them. Pamuja does formative and summative assessments. Formative assessments is simply to assess your learning, and which then further informs the instructor as to whether the instructor has been effective enough. Summative assessment, of course, is an assessment of learning, and how competent are you in the subject, right? So you will have formative assessments could be through wikis, through blogs, through discussions, and summative assessments, of course, would be through a term paper or something similar. We will also look at feedback and the various ways on how feedback could be given on the online platform. We will also learn how we could personalize the feedback that we give. The third thing we will look at is reporting. Pamuja gives 2 types of reports. One is, of course, the term grade, and the second one is reporting how engaged is a student, or basically the engagement report. In the term grades, Pamuja grades each student on a 1 to 7 scale, just the way the IB does. Please note that these term grades are simply a reflection of your performance to date and are not a prediction of your final grade that will be sent to the IB. We will also look at analytics, which are so helpful in assessing how engaged is a student, and these analytics will be available for the entire class, and you could even drill down to each student to see how engaged is the student. And lastly, we will look at announcements, which are simply a tool to connect or to communicate with the entire class or with the entire section. This is what is your to-do for the coming week. You have 2 discussion forums on which would be great to have your participation. The first one is about feedback. In 3.02, there is a beautiful video by one of the Pamuja instructors. You are required to comment upon that video, and in 3.03 you are required to put down your comments on report writing in the online format. So how different is it from the face-to-face environment? What are the things you think should find its place in the report, etc. Third assignment is about making an announcement on the learning management system, right? So you are required to bring in your creativity and see how you can make this announcement using text, audio, video, etc. And the last thing is, as you did last week, put down your learnings in the planning guide. I think that's it for this week. I'd like to sign off with a thank you and with this quote which says that you cannot teach a man anything, you can only help him to find it within himself. I think all of us are born with immense amounts of curiosity, and all that a good instructor can do is to ensure is basically to give more fuel to that curiosity. I hope you have a great week. Thank you.